What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again with the hot seat. And today, along with our host Scott in for the grill, we've got Noah and Amber from Pit Barrel Cooker. What's up, guys?
Hey there.
We take a real quick roll call through the chat. We've got Raleigh Smoke, Dan at Smoky Goodness, Booger 500 US, Ori from Go Outside and Grill, Go Outside and Cook, sorry, Ori, Bomb Grillins, Aaron Curto, Christie's Cooking Channel, Suburban Barbecue, Red Banks, and other people who have not commented. All right, let's get this started. Where are you guys from?
You want to take the first one? Who's in the hot seat?
Here, I'll be. That's an easy one. I'll take that one. No, we are both from California, Northern and Central Valley of California.
All right. Where are you guys at now?
Good old Kentucky. Not far from you.
All right. Greg just said Ballistic Barbecue says me. So I guess Greg wants a shout out from little old me.
Oh, gosh. Hey, Greg.
Cheers, Greg.
All right. Family. I'm not going to say wife because she's sitting here, but kids, dog, chinchilla. What do you guys got?
We have, well, that's kind of a funny question because we have some new pets, but we have 2 boys that are 5 and 6 and a dog, and we have 5 ducks.
Are they inside ducks or outside ducks?
No, they're outside ducks.
Definitely outside ducks. I don't know if you can potty train ducks, but it doesn't look like that's possible, and they don't really have controls over that. So I hear, and they're very messy, but the eggs are amazing. We hear that as well. We aren't quite there yet, but better cholesterol wise, bigger eggs, a lot of bonuses. So yeah, that's what we're excited about those. I don't think any of them are going on the Pit Barrel with the all-purpose rub, which of course would be amazing.
All right, your first fun question that I warned you about. Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin has asked me to ask this question to every person who ever comes on this show. Favorite music, bands, etc. And I'll let you both answer.
Country music, George Strait.
Oh, she took it. She stole mine.
You're such an 80s fan, though.
I do. I like 80s. I like country. Amber actually turned me on to country. She worked for Buck Owens. Some people know that. A lot of people don't. But at the Crystal Palace in Bakersfield, and so I fell in love with country music because of her. And you know, I was raised in the country up in the foothills, so country was always something that was, but the true appreciation for it. So I'm George Strait's. I can listen to it. If that was one thing, I'd probably pick George Strait.
You can't go wrong with George.
Greg says Noah's a big fan of Pantera.
Yeah,
he knows me well to know that that's actually not true. I'm sure it's wonderful for some people.
See, this is great having Greg in here because he knows all the inside jokes, jabs, and everything else that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so let's do a little background. I know you had some military service and then transition into civilian life, so I'm going to kind of leave this open to you to kind of tell that story as you wish.
Sure. Well, I graduated from high school up in the foothills in California, and decided I went down to the Bay Area for a year of college, and just decided that wasn't. I actually worked at J. Crew in San Francisco. I don't think I've ever shared that with too many people.
I don't think he has either.
But worked there and realized that and going to junior college at the same time was something just wasn't working out. So and then somebody tried to mug me in the bar station when I was trying to go from the East Bay over there, and that didn't work out well for them. But I hung on to everything. I didn't give over anything. but joined the Navy and went in, and my dream was I wanted to go in and be a Navy SEAL, and like a lot of people, and went in, and at the time there was too many corpsmen, so they were actually gonna send me home, and I said, well, how long until that rating opens up, or the opportunity? He said, oh, maybe just a few months. Well, it turned out to be a very long time, and so kind of a shot competition for the Navy, and was able to shoot on the Camp Pendleton Marine Corps shooting team, which I think I might have been the only corpsman to get to do that. So I'm very honored to do that, and some of my best friends are Marines to this day. Was a Navy corpsman with the Marine Corps, and deployed over to Iraq, and then and got out and went to work as a security contractor, and did that for Blackwater, and then switched over to another company, and did that for a number of years, and saved my money up. And the lady sitting next to me was patient through that time. We didn't want to get married because there wasn't really a guarantee that I was going to come back each time. So it was pretty dangerous work, and didn't want to start a family until we were done. So we saved up all the money that we could, and decided that we had saved up enough, and started a company, and did a utilities patent on a product that I think is the greatest outdoor cooker to exist. There's nothing out there like it that even comes close to the quality and what you get, and for the price. Well, there's cookers that are thousands of dollars that don't come close to that. We're proud to say that, and obviously the people that own one will agree. We're proud of what we created, and Amber's every bit instrumental into what we've done. So very grateful to our team and the customers that have helped us get there and become the next Pit Barrel.
So I'm seeing a lot of people talking about military service in the chat, and they're all telling me to say thank you for your service.
Appreciate that. Greatest country in the world.
I agree. All right. So before I forget, I just want to lay this out there for the people watching. We're going to give away one Pit Barrel cooker thanks to these two. And here's kind of the rules. Number one, you have to live in the lower 48 states of the greatest country in the world. Sorry, Scott. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to do like we typically do on the show. After the show is over, go into the comment section, leave a comment, and sometime in 9 days, 10 days, whatever next weekend is, we'll do the random comment generator. And whoever wins, I will get your information, and I will send it to probably Amber, because she seems to be the person that's actually in charge over there, from what I can tell. And she will get it worked out and sent to you.
Yes, we will.
I don't think that was that funny. Yeah. that last comment that you just made.
I figure you're far enough away that it's not worth your effort to come kick my butt. So
I just sell Pit Barrels.
All right, so give me the science of the Pit Barrel cooker. Why does it, as you claim, the best cooker? Why? What's the process that it does, etc.?
Where's the magic?
Where's the magic?
So ugly drums, as people commonly know, an oil drum cooking device, has been around for a long time, as long as anyone could build a fire in it. But where the difference is, most of those cookers, and really any cooker for that matter on the market prior to the Pit Barrel, never had. There was always vents to adjust on top, and there was always a big vent door, or vents that would come out and go up and use. So you got the balance things, and that's pretty much like all cookers, unless it's a pellet fed or it's temperature control and based on the temperature it's going to increase the flame and whatever the fuel source that's being injected into the cooker. So prior, they're really so you've got an environment, and what I always say is time, consistency, and temperature is what produces an outstanding product. So it just so happens that in a drum environment, the heat going up in a cylindrical type cooking atmosphere allows for great consistency at a convection cook. And if you dial in the airflow, you can maintain a very steady temperature from literally inches off the coal basket or the fuel source all the way to the top. So people will oftentimes ask, well, how do you cook a rack of ribs and the whole thing cook consistently? Or why would you try to the other way? Or if there's a more narrow piece of the meat, why would you hang that closest to the coals? And a lot of the heat comes up, bounces off, and radiates back down. So so the environment, and what we did is we figured out, we took the guesswork out, we figured out basically a predetermined coal basket, no vents to adjust on top, and a vent setting at the bottom that was dialed into where per your elevation. So prior to the pit barrel, there was never a cooker out there like that you can adjust, and you could tell to the mass market, this adjustment means this elevation, and so on and so forth. So that, I think, was revolutionary. It gave people the confidence to be able to execute amazing barbecue right out of the box, $299 shipped to you, and a wonderful experience.
Cool. All right, your buddy Greg has asked me to ask you about the testing during R&D, and did you take one of these to every elevation? What was the process like, and what did you have to do to get it to work?
How's this Greg guy that you keep speaking of?
He's got like 4 subscribers. He's like one of those nuisance gnats that just keeps buzzing around, but I entertain him just for fun.
He's kind of like new to this type of stuff.
Yeah, it's his first.
He's a novice.
It's his first day. He's excited to be part of the group. All right,
he's got that $5 Dollar General grill that is going to fall apart, but he's working on it. He's got like 480p videos. I mean, it's garbage time, but you gotta help people get bigger and learn things.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. We get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question you had asked about the how did we basically do the R&D on the vents and elevation adjustments when we started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you take it to different elevations?
Yeah. So I did. In fact, good friend, we went elk hunting, and I'll back up. So starting from scratch, and we blew a good chunk of our money just in a utilities patent on our product. So that was more than we anticipated. And then, of course, real estate and commercial property started to get expensive, really expensive in Denver. And so we couldn't afford commercial real estate. So, we wound up going to the Eastern Plains of Colorado and building these things out of a Quonset hut. But while we were doing the R&D on it, we didn't have a lot of resources. We weren't a major manufacturer. We didn't have a sophisticated R&D department. So it was literally, okay, we're at 5280, which is mile high. That's Denver. And so we knew that couldn't be the control. We needed to have, it be sea level, because most people are going to cook closer to sea level than 5,000 plus feet. So we didn't want to put all this into a cooker and then have that be a problem. So from the amount of airflow, the ventilation, and then the intake, I remember one time thinking I had it nailed. I had traveled, and I remember it being an expense to take this thing, ship it to the coast, and make sure that we had done the R&D and the testing there, and then traveled to some different places in the foothills, and then back to Colorado, and then went up to on elk hunt. So I'd done all the testing, made all the different variations, about 29 different prototypes to get this thing dialed into where a person can open it up right out of the box and have an amazing experience. So, so I remember going up to elk camp, and I had a couple buddies with me, and I was really excited, and I remember getting up there, and I couldn't keep this thing going for anything because I was at, probably 11,000 feet. And I had to literally, we didn't get any elk because I had to shoot holes through the bottom of the pit barrel to get enough ventilation through this thing so it would breathe so we could actually cook the food that we brought. So I probably scared everything off, but at least we ate well. So I realized then, and that time, that was about a 2-inch diameter hole at the bottom. I'll never forget that. And 3 inches is what was needed to go up to higher elevation. So, so everything down from there worked, but then also, as I always say, only so much air is allowed in is what's allowed out. And it's the oxygen that really comes into play when you go into higher elevations. That's when you need that vent cap opened up wider. But it's so hopefully, I don't know if that answers your question, but I guess the long answer is what I said. The short answer is yes, we did a lot of R&D.
So how many different, you'd think I'd know this since I work in the oil industry, but how many different barrel diameter options realistically are there outside of the one-off type things that you guys had to go through?
Well, so with the pit barrel, it was 29 that we used, and some of them replugged up the holes to get the prototypes, but it was 29 drums that we used, and they were ugly. And I wish that I still had some of those. And but when you're starting from scratch, every single scrap of anything goes to use. So if we weren't able to sell it, well, we trained on it, and we practiced welding horseshoes on them. We practiced, training, teaching people, and we taught so many kids in Strasburg, Colorado, how to weld that had never welded before. Now, could they go and weld anything else? I'm not sure, but they can weld a horseshoe onto a drum if they have to. That's for sure.
Hey, Scott, I'm going to hop over to you here in a second. I want to ask Noah this. So I'm getting a lot of questions on what we decided we weren't going to talk about. So I'll leave this at this. Talk about that to what extent you choose to. Just do whatever you want, and then we'll just end that conversation because I'm seeing a lot of it in the chat.
What is that topic?
There's another company that has a product very similar to yours.
Well, what I can say is the case is still is still in process. There's really not a whole lot I can say about it. It's just the case is in litigation currently, and as far as being advised from counsel, there's just really can't comment on it. It's what it is.
That's what I figured. I figured it was just easier to put this out there and do it than it was to 20 different people show up in the next hour and that have to readdress it. Scott, you got anything over there in the chat besides the 12,000 questions I've seen? You want to knock some of those out?
I got a couple. This goes right back to the beginning. One of the first questions that came in was from Red Banks. He wants to know, where do you see PBC in the next 10 years?
Hi, Red. How are you? I know Red.
You know Red?
Yeah.
And Amber's obviously, I think that I always say, and that we're going to be the next Pit Barrel Cooker, and people look at it and they say, "What
next Weber?"
Yeah, like what? Now wait a second. You mean like the next big company? And I say, no, we're going to be the next Pit Barrel Cooker, and I mean that. I think that we've got a bright future. Our customers and everything's how you start how you plant the seed, and what you build off of with the foundation. If you rush to market, or you don't, no matter what you do, whether you build a home and you rush it, and you don't take the time to do soil samples depending on where you live, or you don't take the time to really build the right foundation, it's just bad things can happen. So I think that, by God's will and a lot of hard work, starting from scratch, we didn't have a lot of choice. So times that we had to really bite our tongue, or times where, gosh, most people would have fired the customer, or just said no, we bent over backwards and would do anything. And we still do. Customer service, and I think people that know our company and have dealt with us know how much the customer means to us. I think we show that every day. And I always remind our staff, and our staff knows that, and that we all wouldn't have jobs if it wasn't for our customers. And, I think that we will be, the brand will be one of the biggest outdoor cooking brands out there on the market in the next 10 years. And the reason for that is we keep things very simple. Our focus is to provide a great product, not try to be everything to every single style of cooking, but be really good at what we do, provide great customer service, and stay true to our customers. And everything that we do and the products that we release is for, we always think about, instead of, well, how much money can we make? What are the margins? And how about back into it from the perspective of what's best for the consumer? And not to be cavalier about the consumer is our friends, family, customers, and those people that have helped build. So, I mean, we're really in our infancy stages in the last, 8 years? So roughly. And the people, everyone that's bought at Pit Barrel, during this time is going to be, honestly, say 10 years from now, or in the next 10 years, we believed in this company and helped it grow to what it is now. And so I think we've got a pretty bright future. We're really excited. We've got some cool products coming out, and it's amazing what happens when you reinvest and you care about the customer, you listen to them, and you actually can afford a R&D department and get a little bit more sophisticated, as they say. I try not to use big words too much, but we've got some good stuff coming out. So we're really excited about what the next at least 10 years holds for Pit Barrel.
So real quick, Scott, before we go to the next question, there's something I got to ask, because this has blown my mind and for the longest time. So how I kind of came across your company well before I had a YouTube channel, was on Barbecue Brethren. And there's a thread in there that's called Pit Barrel Cooker Appreciation. And I don't know, it's about 10,000 pages long last I looked. And when you start reading that from the beginning to the end, I start seeing comments of, it was like 2 a.m. and I had a problem with my Pit Barrel cooker, and I called Noah's cell phone because it's on the web page, on their product or their website, and he answered the phone. Whose idea was that to do?
That was Noah's.
Yeah, every once in a while I have a good idea, but most of them are maybe not good ideas. So honestly, I mean, we're very hands-on, and my parents, I learned at a young age. So both of them were real estate agents, and I also realized that at a young age that being a realtor was not the occupation I wanted to go into either. But there were times where we would be ready. We'd go out fishing, and I mean, when I say fishing, like, we had a canoe. It was not a fancy boat, but we'd be going somewhere. The phone would ring, and 100% of the time, my parents would answer the phone. And it was we needed the money. They needed to make money, and they worked super hard. And for a long time, it was kind of one of those things where you did as good as you could, and then when the market turned, they did really well. But it was because they put a lot of time in. They gave back to the community. They had a good name. They were honest. They weren't going to sell something sell a home or tell somebody something that wasn't true, and many times that cost them the commission for the sale. So my brother and I and my sister, I have a twin brother, and my sister's 6 years older, so she was out a lot sooner. But my brother and I would watch my parents and just see that hands-on engagement all the time. And so that is probably a big thing. And I know Amber's dad, he's an auto glass, and he's a guy who works super hard. And in his line of business is, if you don't answer the phone, you don't get the job, or the job's going to go to someone else, because when someone wants their glass installed, they want it and they want to get it done. So if you miss the call, it may be gone. So we've both been raised around occupations and people that if you don't answer the phone, you might not be able to afford it or pay a bill. So that was not foreign to us, but always being there for the customer. And, and people have said there's going to be one day when you can't put your cell phone number on every cooker. And that day did come. And I almost had to check myself into the mental institution because, I mean, literally, I remember my dad, I had my phone up and my dad came out. He's like, God, you're going to have to get like an earpiece or something. And I said, how about some customer service? And so, but what I did was, and when you're doing everything, it was us and some wonderful people in Strasbourg, young high school kids and different folks that worked for us. We had some great people along the way. But you have to be there and answer the phone and take the calls. And the one commitment that I had was, before I ever take my cell phone off, every single cooker, we are going to have the most phenomenal customer service team on the planet, and we do. Our staff and our group, we are so blessed and lucky to have them, and we've just got a great team. I mean, I would trust any of them with my life. They are super loyal. They love the product. They love to be a part of it, and it doesn't get old when people call and say how much they love the product and how they were the worst cook, but they just had a barbecue. Now I look like a hero in front of the whole neighborhood, and you made it so easy. And you can't make everybody happy. We do a pretty darn good job, but some people don't want to be happy, and some people don't want you to make them happy. So there are those, and we will do the best we can. And some people say, well, what's your policy? Well, our policy is we're going to do the right thing, and we're going to take care of our customers. And it doesn't do me any good to have someone to have a cooker out there that just isn't happy with it. And so, we take care. As anyone that's ever done business with us, they all know. You can talk about having great customer service, but we've proven and walked the walk for a long time, and we'll continue to.
I think it's kind of like a sickness almost, because we'll go through, emails at night, and if I see something that needs like immediate, I can't wait till the next day. I'm like emailing them, and I'm like, call me on my cell, and they're calling me at 9 o'clock at night. They're like, are you having, are you with your family? I'm like, it's fine. I want to get you taken care of because, it's just important to us. It's kind of crazy, but we enjoy it.
Scott, I know you got a list of stuff, so I'll just start banging them out.
Yeah, I got a few, but I'm going to be a little bit selfish here. It's the perks of being the co-host of the hot seat. Okay.
Scott's your favorite band isn't Slipknot, is it?
Hey, it's one of them. I listen to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I was just curious, like when I see the barrels, any barrel I've ever seen, like I don't know a whole lot about them, but they're all black. And I was just curious, like, you guys do different colors or different sizes? And also kind of like a two-part question here for me is, like, have you had requests to do any custom barrels at all, or?
Yeah, so a somewhat successful guy once said, you can have any color as long as it's black. And that was Ford. I definitely think he was onto something. But no, we're experimenting and looking. Well, we experimented quite a while ago with the different colors, and I think that we could change the design and we could change the colors up, but when you're known for being the original and having that same model, that I think there's something really cool about what we're using now and what our kids see us using can be the exact same cooker 50 years from now. Hasn't changed one bit. And you can imagine all the cookers out there that are synced up to phones and tell you when to flip it, or hell, by then they're probably going to be flipping it for you and maybe even deliver the burger to you. But this can be the cooker that everybody knows how to use and is a staple. So I think black is now. I will say we do the custom logo plates for the military. Our newest one is for Border Patrol, Forestry Service, government type employees. Is our newest, the thin green line. But we do thin red line for the firefighters, thin blue line for cops, concerns of police survivors. Phenomenal organization, some of the most amazing people. Truly, anyone should go check out that organization. Mm-hmm. They do some awesome work, and there's a lot of organizations out there that. One thing you'll find out, I don't sugarcoat very much, and there's a lot of organizations that I think start out with good intentions, and then as they grow, they need good people, and good people want to be paid well, and they need big salaries, and then things all of a sudden the focus and the shift, and it starts to shift from a larger percentage of the dollar going to the cause versus the people, and things happen. But wonderful organization, cops, I love those people, and they're awesome. But we'll do the custom logo plates, and we'll do for different companies, private, kind of like private label, so to speak. Gosh, what's a good one? Trevento is an awesome wine. And the other thing too is, I mean, we're really picky about the companies and our partners. And Greg, I give Greg a hard time, but Greg Ballistic Barbecue is one of the best guys I've ever met. And he's, if he could shoot videos for Pit Barrel, I'd have him do it. He's just a genuinely good guy. Mm-hmm. What you see and the energy that you see when you watch him is exactly him in person. I mean, he's just a good, squared away guy, and great family. So we're very much in sync there. But anyway, the partners are important. We won't just do that with anybody, and so we can do a lot with a logo plate and things like that. So anyway, sorry, I'm passionate about our product and the business and the customers and all that good stuff. But as of right now, it's only black. There might be something else coming out, possibly something more patriotic. I don't want to give too much up, but that could be in the future.
That's awesome. Thanks, Noah. Great answer, buddy.
Hey,
Also,
Scott.
What's up?
Real quick, everybody in the chat wants you guys to become Weber and make a red Pit Barrel. And Greg is thanking you for the shout out. I think he's probably up to 10 subscribers now with that, Noah.
Well, you can find a way to repay me down the road. Just grow, buddy.
Run with it, Scott. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I couldn't miss that comment.
All good. What do we got here? Lewis from R Shack Barbecue. He was wondering what lump works best in the Pit Barrel cooker.
Ooh. Boy,
I'm assuming bland.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a lot of, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. So I'm not going to give any brand specifics, but one could go out and buy a lump charcoal that's super expensive. And they could also go buy that same lump charcoal somewhere else in a different bag that has different branding that is the exact same lump charcoal. And a lot of it's going to burn the same. Now, there are differences. I think that I like B&B. I like Royal Oak. I like Stubbs, Cowboy. Cowboy's good stuff. You know, there's B&B is a real good clean charcoal. I mean, I think that, and kind of going back to partners and just, you know, good folks. I've had an experience more recently with B&B, and you know, Joey works his tail off. That guy goes out and crushes it. That guy drives, I think, more than anybody I know, all over the country, and is promoting the product. And it's just, there's nothing better than a company that believes in the product that they have and goes out and pushes it. And we know what that's like, because when we started, I flew all over the country. Is that a cattail?
Sorry.
But we flew all over the country and to promote the product. And so I know what it's like. So obviously my heart goes out, you know, for people that are passionate like that. They're a company that is hungry, ambitious, wants to get out there. I mean, they've been a player, but he's doing really good things for them. And the SCA is going to be awesome. You know, we're looking to do some more things and with the SCA as well. And that's such a cool deal. I mean, KCBS is awesome. Everybody knows what it is. But the steak cook-off, I mean, you know, I'm not getting paid anything to say this, but if you've never entered one, it's a good time. Even if you come in dead last, which I'm not a fan of coming in dead last in anything or even close to it, but you would still have a good time. You're going to meet cool people, and it's easy.
Yeah,
I mean, you show up, and you're going to get 2 steaks, and you're going to get to put your best juju on the steaks and see what you can do. And you're going to get beat. If you don't know, even if you think you can cook the best steak at home, you're going to get whipped, because there's some things that go along with that you need to know. But everyone's there, and everyone will show you. And so anyway, good stuff there. Yeah, there's some good things going on.
Okay, more Scott.
Keith Betag wants to know, what's your favorite cut of meat to cook in your Pit Barrel cooker?
Who does he want Amber to answer the question?
I'll answer it. Mine is a New York strip. I like grilling a New York strip. That's my favorite. I could eat it every day.
Yeah, so we're married happily. So as you can tell, we both eat a lot of New York strip.
I love it.
That's our favorite cut. In fact, I was always a guy, ribeye has to be a ribeye, you know. And we went with some of our friends, Fred and Brianne to be exact. And Fred I guess he's always been a New York guy, and we were at the Prime at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. This was quite a long time ago. And he ordered a New York strip, and I looked over at that. God, how could you do that? You know, we're at this great steakhouse, you're going to order a New York strip, and you got the opportunity to get this amazing, you know, ribeye that's, you know, cooked over, you know, a volcano, and it's going to be amazing. And anyway, he says, "Oh, it's the greatest flavor ever." And so I thought about that, and started ever since. I mean, but here's the deal: you have to get a good New York strip steak. I think Costco sells, you know, and in fact, I was telling someone this today. I honestly, and I love, I mean, there's some butcher shops and people out there that are working super hard. And if you have that butcher shop that you like, that's local, absolutely support them. But if you don't, and you have a Costco nearby, you cannot beat the prime selection that Costco has. It's literally unbelievable. For the price, you can get a prime cut of meat there. It's fun to pick them out because every time it's like looking through a magazine of like gourmet prime meat, and I love just looking at them. But anyway, you can get that, take it home, and you will have one of the best steaks you've ever had in your life. And so we've been stuck on the New York.
But you love the lamb too.
I do love a rack of lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick kind of a last meal, there's something magical about a really good rack of lamb with a nice glass of wine that there's nothing else like it. Lamb is pretty unique to kind of really being paired with a nice glass of red and so that would probably be lamb and a good glass of red. But Amber's, I guess, is New York strip.
New York.
That's great. I like the New York too. We got one from Rally Smoke. He wants to know if you guys own any other cookers, grills, smokers, and why do you own those other grills, smokers, and cookers?
Well,
if you do.
A question back is: Are there any other cookers out there besides the Pit Barrel?
We don't.
Yeah. No, we do not. But I thought about maybe. Well, I guess I don't want to give up too much, but there could be some other products coming out that would be a little bit faster for if you wanted to cook a quick burger or do a steak real quick. You weren't overly concerned about the ambiance and entertaining, because if you're having people over, or if you're entertaining and you're going to have people over that you like, why you can't cook a steak on a gas grill. I don't know. That just doesn't seem. I mean, sure, you can do it. I've done it, but once you and honestly, I mean, a steak on a pit barrel, or I mean, to cook over open flame and have that smoke and really be doing something, that's where it's at. I mean, at least give that and go the extra mile to your friends and family, and you won't be disappointed.
We have anywhere between, I would say, 2 to 4 pit barrels and PBJs on the deck at any given time. So I don't know why, but we do.
That's Noah's question to answer, and you guys can do that privately. I do that at my house here myself. Scott, you all caught up?
We just had a new one come in from Mike Hassenkamp. What's the most unexpected / unbelievable thing you've hung / cooked in pit barrel?
Unbelievable thing. I would say probably game meat. Game meat's very. So I'm a hunter. If it runs, swims, or flies, I'll kill it. I will eat it, but I'll definitely go after it. I think that game meat is obviously, because of what game animals eat, is very lean. And so anything that's lean, and that's why, prime beef and very marbled, it's not only you get more flavor, it absorbs the salt, which is obviously very tasty, and it also keeps moisture in. And God, I hope Meathead's not listening right now, because he's gonna tear me apart. If I say anything too technical, he's gonna send me a message.
He's here and he's listening.
Good. What's going on, Meathead? But anyway, so if Meathead is here, just act like I know what I'm talking about. But no, so obviously with the marbling and the extra fat, it kind of, in my opinion, creates more of a buffer. So if you get a really lean piece of meat, you better nail it, because there's not going to be a lot of margin there. And so game meat, because say you take an antelope in the eastern plains of Colorado, or even in the high plains, it's eating sage. It's going to be not only is it going to be taste gamey, but it's going to be obviously very lean. So if you cook, the Pit Barrel is really good for game meat as well. And in fact, designed the beef and game seasoning around game meat, because it is very salty, and it's got some good things in it that really somewhat neutralize the gaminess of certain game animals, and is really good, but also is really good on steaks and beef. So anyway, and with the Pit Barrel and the environment that it's cooked in, it's very conducive to meats that are a lot leaner. And so I would say we've cooked a guy. So used to guide. I used to have 2 German Shorthair pointers, and I would guide out at the Bluffs in Colorado. And the guy said, "Well, hell, let's throw a pheasant on here." And I'm thinking, well, geez, we got to pluck the thing, for crying out loud. We can't just throw the thing in there. But it was a very fast plucking, and that thing went in the Pit Barrel. It was actually amazing, and I mean, it was really good. So, what were you going to say?
I didn't eat the rabbit. You mentioned rabbit,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we went to Argentina, and we cooked. They did some beef ribs and cut them in a completely different way, and those were off the charts. I mean, and that's what's so fun. I mean, traveling around the world, and what's traveling around the world with a Pit Barrel and putting it in the hands of people, because it's so simple. Every demographic and culture can get their head wrapped around the process and how it works, and then they put their spin on whatever style of cooking they do, and it's a lot of fun. And that's, we got into, we're going to be doing more destination videos. We went to Argentina, and then we went to the Bahamas, and actually Meathead was out there. We had a phenomenal time. Hopefully they do something like that again. That's quite a logistical feat to get a lot of people out there to this little island. But that's a lot of fun, is taking our product and going to different places. And we caught grouper and lobster and cooked them right in the Pit Barrel, and lobster right up the Pit Barrel. I'm sure Meathead would tell you. I know his wife definitely enjoyed it, and there's a gentleman out there that was also out there, and he was actually sick and I believe terminal. And that was, I mean, and I haven't shared this many times, but one of the coolest times that I've had with the business was handing a big chunk of lobster. And Meathead came over and he said, "Hey, would you," he told me about kind of what was going on. And he said, if you could, kind of hook this guy up. And that was like music to my ears. And so we made this like butter bath, and we put all this fresh lobster that we had literally caught like an hour or 2 before, and cooked it up, put it on there, cooked in the Pit Barrel, brought it over to this guy, and he really enjoyed it. But those are kind of the magical times. And anyone that's been around food and wine, we live for handing over what you think is the best that you can make, and seeing someone really enjoy it. And so that was a pretty special time.
Okay, one more here, guys. Jeremy Keegan, best nickname for Pit Barrel Cooker devotees, barrelheads. Have you guys heard any that you prefer?
I don't know. A lot of people on Instagram, because I do all the social, they just say Team Pit Barrel. There's really not. No, that's a good question, because we haven't heard it much like that. So if anybody wants to make up some names, send them my way. Barrelheads, I kind of like that. But yeah, I think people just, they're just like Team Pit Barrel. Anytime I see new product getting out there, I see the tags, and that's what people are doing. So
All right, how long do you guys have any time constraints? Obviously, you guys probably don't want to go to midnight, but I don't want to keep you wrapped up in here too long, just so I kind of got an idea how fast I need to bang out the rest of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking 2, 3, 4 in the morning. You know, no later than 6.
I mean, we have nothing else to do.
8 tops. We got to get the kids to school.
Time for a refill.
Speaking of that, I can't believe that we haven't had any interruptions.
Yeah.
Did you guys give them some bourbon too?
I think we're good. We're good for a while longer. I mean, I've caught a cold, so I'm drinking. It's my excuse to get into the bourbon collection, and so I'm not normally a big drinker, but don't let the 50 bottles of bourbon behind me fool you.
You're on the hot seat. All rules of your normal life go out the window.
That's it.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Russ was on and he said, "Man, that question's hard." And I said, "Russ, if the questions were easy, it'd be called the lukewarm seat."
Right.
Yeah. Isn't Russ a good guy?
He is.
Yeah, he's really nice.
All right. So at what point did you guys know you were going to make it? Not the product. I mean, make it successfully.
We still don't know that. Have you heard something that we haven't heard?
Well, I read so I actually do quite a bit of research for this show, and I've read some whether they're true or not, I don't know. I think I read an article on Forbes that dropped some numbers that, for me being a little guy, for lack of better words in the world, are very large numbers. So,
One second.
Yeah, no, you know, I appreciate that, and I think that
You there?
as long as you know, as long as the soonest that you can get back, it to us is really important. And when we started, obviously, we couldn't afford insurance. We couldn't afford commercial space, and couldn't afford a lot of things.
Couldn't afford a babysitter for me to make sales calls.
I mean, I remember when Amber was like, I mean, we've got a little one. I'm running back and forth, in and out, trying to build the product, ship it, answer phone calls, customer service, and it was. I remember a big decision when we're like, we've got to get some help here. We've got to get a sitter or something. And I mean, and then we're like, well, gosh, how much are we going to spend on that? So and it's amazing. Once we did, that freed up Amber, and she's actually a wonderful salesperson. She's a lot more fun, as you found out, than I am to talk with.
But I'm drinking hot tea here, so the wine has not made it out.
Yeah, but no. What was the question?
When did you guys know that you'd made it?
Yeah.
So no, I think just I don't think we've made it big. I think that we're growing responsibly to the demand and our customers. And we're not in a big box retailer. We're not we're trying to be everything to our customer and not a lot of the other avenues you can go down. So it's hard to say no, and but you have to. I think it's important to, like I was saying, when you first start out, you can't give back. But anybody that the second that you have some extra money to give back, and find an organization or find something that means something to you, or people that have helped you out along the way. Be fair, give back, and we've got some really cool things that we plan on doing with for quite a while. We want to start our own organization, and we're going to do some things to give back to some kids and families that their parents have lost their lives in the line of duty, whether it be police, fire, or military. And so, if their mom or dad is no longer around, we're going to do some cool stuff, take them fishing. And the main reason we purchased a boat was exactly for that reason. And we've it's that has been delayed a while for just some other things, but that's something that we do plan on doing, and I can assure you it's not because we're out fishing. We have this great fishing boat, and we're not. We just haven't had a chance to use it because we've been so busy. But hopefully we get it out to the Bahamas again. That was a really good time. But we plan on doing some good stuff, and we give back to organizations. But I think that, you know, if you're greedy or you don't find ways to give back and do good when you do finally make a little bit of money, I think it's wrong, but and that's just me, but I think it's bad luck too, and you know there's a reason I think we've been blessed and been successful, and you know we need to try to do good things with it and continue to grow and build a brand that people can be proud of and proud to be a part of.
So I know when I
got a text message from Meathead, kind of leaning towards the nickname thing, and I kind of like what he said. He says, "Tell you guys to call it the Black Drum of Yum."
Black Drum of Yum. That's good. I like that.
Well, that's an endorsement right there for sure.
Black Drum of Yum. I like that.
Well, we need to clarify. So we got Meathead Goldwyn and we've got Meathead on YouTube. And I think Scott's talking about Meathead on YouTube.
Well,
I only know one Meathead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've talked with the Meathead on YouTube.
Have you?
Yeah. So yeah, that's good stuff. We'll have to consider that.
All right. So I know when I talked to Amber, when did I talk to you on the phone? 2 weeks ago? You probably have less of an idea than I do.
Yeah. No, I remember.
So she was telling me about your trade shows on the road, etc. Just for somebody that just give me the 30,000 foot view of what that life's like.
Well, lately it's been, you know, it's hard, I think, for us because, you know, we do have a great staff, but we run lean and mean, and lean and mean. We're not mean. But
we could be mean.
We could be mean if we need to.
If we had to. We don't want to be mean.
But I mean, Noah he's kind of needed in a lot of areas, like trade shows. Like we have the hardware show, and we were at the Hearth Patio show in Nashville in March. There's just different events at different things, and every time it seems like we don't have anything going on, then there's like 4 things that come up for that month. And like we were home last weekend I think like you were home for the first time in a while, but it's a lot going on, and we don't, you know, Noah still tries to go to a lot of events, and I do as well. Now our boys are 5 and 6, so before they were in real school, our 6-year-old's in kindergarten, our 5-year-old will be in kindergarten. It's hard now that they're in actual elementary school, so you can't just take them everywhere. But before then, we would just load them up and take them to all these shows and do different stuff with us. I mean, they know the Pit Barrel like the back of their hand. I mean, they've been in it since they were born. But it's busy, and that's really you know what it is with different foundations. Like Noah mentioned, the Cops Foundation. We're doing stuff with them, and every year he does the what is the Cops Center?
The national. It's their national conference in Texas, and they do. Gosh, we've done now a couple of years. Last couple of years, I'm sure we'll do it again. Well, for over 500 police officers, different police departments, could be sheriff's department, police departments from all over the country. They'll send representatives, and they learn about what the cops' concerns of police survivors, what exactly they do. So should an officer go down on the line of duty, the organization then steps in and does a lot of things for the family. And so they'll send those people, and it's kind of like a liaison to learn about the process and how they go about it and all the steps. So it's a really neat, definitely emotional event too, and some great things going on there. So, you know, some of America's finest, we will, you know, cook, you know, prime beef tenderloin for over 500 people. We're, nothing but the best. And so we'll come out there, we'll line up the pit barrels, and we'll bring in a lot of good prime beef tenderloin and cook that up. And I mean, the most appreciative people, and the meal is outstanding. There's no doubt, but really good organization, like we said.
I love tenderloin on the pit barrel too. Don't let me fool you with the New York. The tenderloin's great.
All right, so do you guys have any advice for new entrepreneurs? I'm not going to put that specifically in the barbecue world, but I know anybody that does barbecue typically has two thought processes. I want to create a product, or I want to have a restaurant, but anything you guys can add for those people?
I think for me, like, my advice would be, and I talked with quite a few people just in general through the social media channels, and I guess finding out what you want to do. Do you want to do this as a hobby? Do you want to do this to make money? And a lot of people aren't sure, and they don't know the difference. So I think kind of figuring that out, and I mean, for us, when we started, it was, we're going to do this, and we did it, and there's really no looking back. But I think that's kind of what I ran into in talking with different people with different potential rubs, because I've talked with quite a few people that have like seasoning lines or trying to start seasonings. Do you want to put everything into this, type of deal? But it's definitely a lot of work, that's for sure. And some people think, you're self-employed, and they say, oh, it must be nice to be self-employed, and it is great, but you work all the time. So, right. But we're very blessed. I'm not complaining by any means, but it's just a different world, Yeah.
I think my advice would be that if you feel that you have an idea, or you want to, whatever it is, you want to be a business owner, of course, I think that everybody should do that. I mean, I hope my boys, we always talk about being the boss and being a business owner. And, of course, they have no idea what they want to do. And well, actually they do. They want to play outdoors and shoot things with their bow and arrows and their BB guns. And that's their focus right now. But I think that to an entrepreneur, I think it's either in your blood or it's not. But and I think a lot of people don't know whether it's in their blood. Maybe it isn't. They just don't know it. But if you're passionate about something, go for it. It's just like anything. You'd rather do it, try it, and if you fail at it, well, at least you know, versus never knowing and never trying. So I'd say go for it. But if you're going to do it, be passionate about it, and you got to have that drive. I mean, there has to be, a zero quit in you. And then also a big stumbling block is people that will say, well, I don't know who to trust. I'm afraid, maybe my idea is going to get stolen, or, if I tell someone about my invention, whatever it is, I don't want. And then how many people do you know that came up with something and then they never did anything with it because they didn't know how? So you got to get out there. You got to trust. Maybe you get burnt, maybe you don't. If you do, well, fight that fight another day. But if you can try to find people out there that you can trust. I guess that's the number one advice. Find someone you can trust to help you, especially if you're going to manufacture something, because that's something, and cost to build and those kind of things. When you're working as hard as we did just to make it happen, I knew how long it would take to make it and what my costs are, but to really scale up, that's a hard thing. And so those were things we needed help with. So if you can find someone that can help you, and there are a lot of people out there that have made it, and that, I've helped people out that are in this industry that got going and spent countless hours, months of helping them out from branding to getting their product to R&D to helping them figure out where they're going to have their product built and made and shipped from the same facility and all those things. And guess how much money I got for it? Zero. And guess how much money I asked for it? Zero. And that's what you do. You help people out. It's a close-knit community, and people don't realize just how close the outdoor cooking community is. It's not one of those things that people talk about how well their cordless drill works and they're all excited about it. But cooking is a very social event. So when you're cooking and then also cooking some of the best food you've ever had, much less cooked yourself, and you look like a hero in front of a lot of your close friends and family, that's exciting. That's fun. You're more apt to go on social media and talk about it. And that's how big brands get grown. And is that proper? Get grown?
Whatever you want to say.
That's suburban talking.
Get grown.
But anyway, I try not to talk too big. But no, we're passionate and obviously proud of what our team has done. And so
real quick, I know when I talked to Amber, I was kind of shocked so to let the viewers know, I kind of asked Amber on a two-part thing. Number one was do the hot seat. Number two was order a Pit Barrel Junior, drive down, pick it up, have Noah make a video with me, explain to me how the whole process works. And her answer was, it's not that exciting here. There's only like a handful of people who work for us, and most of them work at home. So kind of give people kind of how small it really is, because I thought it was going to be much bigger than it actually is.
I don't know if most people work from home. No,
we have a couple.
We've got a couple people that work out of state. They started out here, but through spouses taking job transfers and different things, we're also, probably one of my biggest, well, would you call it a weakness? If somebody comes into our office and opens the door and says, I want to work, they're getting a job. I mean, if I'm there and they're not, cut off by the office manager or somebody else, and I happen to hear this, I will, I'll yell from the back, all right, they're hired, tell them to fill out the paperwork. Anyone that wants to work, now whether they work out, that's a different story, but if somebody wants to work, I'm all about it. I mean, and we're always hiring, always looking for good people that want to be a part of an awesome brand. And so, but yeah, I think we've got a couple people that through different reasons had to move away, and we wanted to keep them on board. So we found ways to do that, and we've got several people in the office, but we don't have not a lot of waste. Everybody does a really good job, knows what their job is, and is just good at it.
Yeah, so we wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the fun question that I've only had one couple on before you guys, and it was Mojo's Crazy Kitchen, which they're just crazy in and of itself, but I'll let you guys answer this question. Either you answer for yourselves or you guys answer for each other, and you guys can rock, paper, scissors that out. If Hollywood were to make a movie about your journey with the Pit Barrel Cooker, who would you want to play, you or your spouse, depending on how you guys work this out?
We're going to rock, paper, scissors one time.
Do you want to pick who would play me?
Gosh, that's a tough one. Being I don't know anybody who's in Hollywood.
He knows nothing about Hollywood.
I'm the worst. And it's not that I don't care. It's that I work so much, and if it doesn't have to do with family or work, I probably don't know what's going on. But no.
Do you want to pick somebody for yourself? Or for me?
I'll pick somebody for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I need a little time to think about this.
I don't know any good divorce lawyers, so you two be good.
I'm gonna pick some handsome actor. I would pick Matt Damon.
I thought maybe you'd pick someone a little tougher than that.
Well, Mark Wahlberg. I like Mark Wahlberg too.
No, but both
Mark.
phenomenal actors that I like.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Noah, you're screwed. There's no good answer here. I'm just going to tell you that now.
He really doesn't. He knows people's faces, but you probably. You want me to pick somebody for myself?
Best answer, Noah. Do it.
You know what? I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't. This might be good because I honestly don't. I don't keep up with a lot of the stuff. I mean, unless it really pertains to something. For me, it's just it's everybody's different. I think Jennifer Aniston. That she's somebody that I think she's smart. I think she's classy. I think that she went through a lot of stuff, and from my perspective, I think took the high ground and you know, kind of persevered and just kind of kept going, and so I think that's I would say
that's a nice answer, honey.
Now, I mean, I don't know if Megyn Kelly counts as Hollywood. That's no. I don't think she made a good move with the show that she went to, but
I remember when Noah and I first started dating, and I said something about Lindsay Lohan, and he looked at me and he said, "Who's that?" And I mean, that was back when she was really popular, and it was just I was talking about some dumb Hollywood thing, and I was like, "How do you not know who that is?" But there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a good thing, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get starstruck. I'm always, you know, I'm like, I don't want to bother those people. They're trying to enjoy their lives, and you know, but everybody puts on their pants the same way.
It's true.
Jeremy Keegan says, "Stop now, Noah."
Stop now.
Quit while you're ahead. Okay.
I would have picked Charlize Theron. I mean, she's really pretty, and I like her a lot. So that's who I would have picked for myself, if anybody cares.
All right, I'm going to ask the next question. I'm going to leave it to Scott to follow up afterwards, but I lost my question. I feel bad. Who would be on each of your personal Mount Rushmores? I'll let you each answer that question with 4 people.
I'm going to refuse to answer that question.
You can't. You have to. It's the hot seat. It's required. You signed the contract, which doesn't exist.
Oh. I don't even know. I've never even thought about that. Is there a swipe? Is there like a skip through the question and we just swipe through? You left us.
I don't see anybody anymore. They're gone. I would say, gosh, I could come up with 2. My senior chief in the Navy, Senior Chief Miguel Delgado, was a mentor, great guy. My grandfather for sure. So I put my dad on there as well. As I get older, I realize just how much my dad's, you know, played a role in my drive for success and different things like that. Sometimes it takes you a while to realize those things. What else? I got one more. And probably my buddy Jack Billings. I'd say Jack. Those people. He knows me very well, and met him in boot camp. So I think that those are some pretty important people.
I agree. I'm going to go with the same one as Noah.
So anybody that knows the hot seat that watches weekly knows that I have certain questions that are set up so that I can go take a bathroom break. So I was laughing because I could hear you when you said he disappeared. And everybody in the chat went, pee break, pee break, pee break.
That was a good one.
All right. Beside your own rub, which one do you like?
Hmm.
I think both of them are pretty good.
Well,
I had someone, yeah, of course. I had someone recently say that I asked him the same thing, and he says, I've never just used one of them. I always mix the two.
No, he's saying besides them though. What other rubs?
Oh, did you say that? Was that your question?
I did say that.
Well, okay, now I can argue with both of you.
I really like.
I would say that I like Cosmos. Meat Church, phenomenal stuff.
We just got BBQ. I don't know if you know Kurt over at BBQ, but he has some great stuff.
What's the chicken seasoning that Greg uses in Colorado? Remember that out of Texas?
Oh,
it was. We've got to reach out there.
I know. I can't remember the name of that.
And honestly, and I thought I knew something about rubs, and he cooked our chicken on the Pit Barrel and used something different, and it's a seasoning out of Texas, and oh my gosh,
yeah,
ridiculously good. And so I can't remember the name of it right at the top, but I've got to try that. But I mean, there's so many good ones out there, and it's fun to experiment. I think for chicken, that our all-purpose is pretty awesome, and then on a steak. I mean, honestly, we do our steak rub. I think in Cosmo, and a lot of folks would agree that beef and game on a steak's pretty doggone killer. You can try to come up with a lot of different things, but it's darn good.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up semi quickly with the next probably 2 or 3 questions. What's the best and the worst thing you've ever cooked? That comes from Christy's cooking channel.
Just in general?
Doesn't have to be barbecue. It could be something you did Tuesday on the stove.
Well, I did. So this is a funny story. When I ordered that HelloFresh food, and I ordered this food. You know, the box comes to you.
I can't believe we're admitting this.
It's the hot seat. It's what people expect.
And you're, gives you all the ingredients and all the, everything to do, directions and everything. And so one of them was like this hanger steak, and it says, to cook this thing in the oven. And I'm like, I can't cook this in the oven, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I made this, and I.
Well, I'm just thinking, even Easton, our 6-year-old,
that's what I'm gonna say.
I can't believe we're having oven steak.
He was so upset. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm following the instructions. It came with this little menu, this little, recipe guide." And he's like, "Mom, you cannot cook this in the oven." And I'm like, I realize that, but I'm just gonna see. We get it out. It was terrible, as you can imagine. And he was like, "Mom, never again oven steak." I said, "I will never, ever make oven steak again." And now it's just a laughing joke because I've never done that. I've never cooked any meat in the oven. And I thought, I'm going to follow this. So that was terrible. I will never do that again. I should have just said, you know what? I'm going to go put it on the Pit Barrel. But I thought, no, I'm going to follow this card. It should be delicious. So that was the worst thing, I think. Yeah. How about you?
Well, Chris, instead of focusing on the horrible things, I'd like to actually talk about a dish that I made the other night from scratch. That was amazing. So it
was good.
So I decided, I was walking through Costco, and Costco doesn't pay me anything for this. They probably should, but no, so I was looking through Costco, and I said, I want to try something different. And I saw this big bundle of clams, and I love like clam scampi and different things like that. But I also love Alfredo and marinara. And my dream, I think, in my past life, I was a chef somewhere in Italy or something. I've always wanted to have like an Italian restaurant / steakhouse with a concentration of wine. And so anyway, so I got this. I got the clams. I was thinking about the ingredients and the things that we had at home. So we made this dish, and it was honestly one of the best clam. It's so easy to do. I mean, piece of cake. And
it was delicious.
Yeah, I mean, put a little olive oil,
Yeah.
saute some butter and garlic, and then put the clams in and get that going. And then, you know, pour about a half a cup of whatever, you know, white wine that you like. That is, obviously you're not going to cook with a wine that you won't drink. So, you know, pour that in there, and so simple. And that's your base. And then from there, Parmesan, cream, butter, pepper, little garlic, and magic starts happening. And it's just
unbelievable.
And noodles, and oh my God, we took a picture of it. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about, you know, how it was horrible that we didn't cook it on the Pit Barrel, but it was really amazing stuff. But back to your question,
that was your.
Well, I kind of answered the question that I wanted to get.
No, because they said what's your favorite and your worst or your best.
So I guess so the worst is, probably my least favorite is but this was, gosh, what was St. Patrick's Day? What was that? What was cooked for that?
Oh, corned beef.
Corned beef. I've never been a fan of corned beef. I think it should be illegal. And
Should be illegal.
I mean, there are some things that we do on holidays and what we think that we need to cook, and it's like, why just cook a prime rib or a tenderloin and actually enjoy the food and your company. But I don't know. I mean, I think the Pit Barrel corned beef is pretty good, but I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, boiling beef, but yeah, I think that's probably the worst thing.
It's about as bad as putting your steak in the oven.
I think boiling's worse.
All right, I'm going to cut off the questions from the chat. We got 2 there, and I've got 1 question after. I'm going to let these people go to sleep because they got to go to work in the morning. All right, so Paul Wary, and I think his channel is Carolina Grill or Grills. I apologize, Paul. I've had a few drinks already, and put it down in the thing while I ask the question, and we'll get to you. But he's asking, will there ever be a rotisserie for the Pit Barrel cooker?
Well, think of it this way. It's a stationary rotisserie. So, I mean, we could continue to turn things around, but that would just be, now that would not be thinking of the consumer first. That would be gouging the consumer, coming up with an accessory that's not really needed, and that obviously we don't want to do. Now, if the fuel source was a lot closer and it was hotter, that would be different. And I would say stay tuned. We have some different things coming out down the road for that. But for the Pit Barrel, yeah, it's already, the meat is already suspended, so you're not really needing to you don't really need to rotate it. If that makes sense.
Greg says he walks around the Pit Barrel cooker as it cooks.
Well, I guess as long as you have a adult beverage in your hand, that's fine.
All right, so Ori from Go Outside and Cook asks if you guys plan on having a dealer program or an affiliate program.
We do. So we do have an affiliate program. As far as a dealer program, do they mean like retailers?
Ori, do you mean retailers? I think Ori's talking probably more of an affiliate program, just knowing Ori, but
yeah, we do have an affiliate program.
I'll tell them to reach out to us.
Yeah, you can email us.
Ori, hit up Amber, go through their website. I can't remember the lady's name, but she was really nice. I sent her an email when I was reaching out.
Yeah, yeah. So yep. So if they send an email to sales@Pit Barrel Cooker, we'll get you going in the right direction.
All right, last question. Each of you got to answer. One thing that most people don't know about you.
I'm pretty much an open book. That's a really hard question. I'd like to say something, but then I don't want you to like make me do it. But so I'm not going to do it. But I can laugh like Woody Woodpecker.
I feel like I have no choice but to ask you to do it.
I can't do it, but I can laugh like Woody Woodpecker.
I kind of want to see this myself.
That was like, no,
She can sing.
I can sing.
She can sing really well. I'd rather see her sing than laugh like Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a singer.
Not me.
I think Noah's really funny, and
I'm not that funny.
people take him very serious, and he is serious.
Well, I can be serious. I mean, if maybe I can be funny, but I take our business. Well, I guess it's very simple. I take feeding my family very serious. So that's obviously our business. But I think that I have a bigger heart than I think. Well, I mean, I have a big heart, but I'll do things like I'll do a lot of like different events and just different things that I've never been big on social media. And I believe in you don't have to talk about every single thing that you're doing, and Instagram everywhere you're going, and if you do a good act or you're helping someone out or you're whatever you're doing, you don't have to talk about it, and that's even better in my mind, because it makes it that much more genuine and sincere when you don't post it and you don't talk about it. So we'll do a lot of things and with our company and that we don't always talk about. And honestly, oftentimes our staff doesn't even know about the different things that we do, that Amber and I do for other folks that either need a hand. I mean, we try to be very good about making sure that we're helping the right people out. But we do a lot of different things and don't always talk about it. And I think that that's something that and sometimes the people don't even know that we're helping, don't know where that comes from. But I would say that those are some things that we do that people don't know about me.
I think the main thing that people didn't know about Noah was that he worked at J. Crew when he was in college.
That was good info.
That was great info.
I was the only straight male sales associate there. So nothing wrong with that, but
that's awesome.
But I decided to pick a different career path.
Little different. I mean, it's very similar to going in the military, right?
Don't ask, don't tell. I'm not getting involved in this. Well, that was before. That was before that. Now you can. Now you're probably encouraged to tell. But who knows? All right, before we get into trouble, I'm going to wrap this up and say, hey, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to give you guys the final word to say whatever it is that you'd like to. Pitch whatever you want. This is as long as you want to talk.
Yeah, I guess just thanks for having us. It's been fun, and we don't ever do anything. It's usually Noah or myself, and very rarely myself because I just don't do things like this. So it's been fun to sit here and go back and forth. So thanks for having us. Great questions. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I second that. Scott, Chris, appreciate you guys and having us on. Yeah. I would say, and I can never say it enough, how much we appreciate our customers and what they do for us, and the affiliates and influencers, YouTubers, and everyone out there that's believed in our product and believed in us and has taken the time to actually really care about who they're doing business with and the product that they're promoting and what they're promoting and what we're about. We never forget where we came from, how we started, and the people that have helped us get there. And there's way too many people that we could even list, but there are some awesome folks out there. Everyone's played a piece. And at the end of the day, I think we're all going to be responsible for growing something really cool and much bigger than us that our kids can be really proud of and be pretty cool. So we're really appreciative to the people that have helped us along the way. And we never forget that. So thank you. Awesome. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Real quick,
I'll recap the giveaway, leave a comment after the show's over, and then next Saturday, Sunday, whenever I get a chance, we'll do the random comment generator. We'll pick it. I'll send it to Noah and Amber, and they'll get a Pit Barrel cooker sent out to you guys.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.